Hello YouTubers, djmattyman has asked me to do a zoom in tutorial. Well, he didn't ask me to, he asked me how to zoom in on Sony Vegas. So what I thought I'd do is show you how I would zoom in on Sony Vegas. Now there are a couple of ways of doing this, and I shall show you the main way that I do it. Now first up, one way of doing it is to go to track motion. Click on that, zoom out by using the middle scroll button on your mouse. Now if we have a look at this screen here, as I pull away I zoom in. The only problem with doing that is that it does it on the whole track. So if you've got multiple videos on that track, you will be zooming out on all of them, not just one. So I don't tend to do that unless I really have to. The way that I do it is to go to the video clip itself, go to this little box here and go to event pan crop. Click on that and that brings up this little doozy here. Now what I'm going to do is zoom in on the telly. So if you want to keep the size, this box size here, then you click on lock aspect ratio and size about center, and that will keep the size the same as the video clip originally was. Now what you do is go to one of these corners here and just move the box so that it's smaller, and then move it over to the telly. So we've got it zoomed in on the telly. Now if I press the play go button, it's always zoomed in on the telly. Which is rather groovy if that is what you want to do. Now obviously if you have an object that's still and your camcorder is still, then zooming in like this is the easiest way of doing it. But if, for example, let's say you want to zoom in on I've got another clip here. Right, we want to zoom in on this slide, right? So we go to event pan crop and there's the slide there. So you've got it on the clip, and what you want to do is zoom in on that slide. So what you do is you move the box so it's smaller, go over to the slide, and there you go, that's your slide. And you think, oh, that's groovy, I've done that quite nicely, haven't I? Yes. Now here is your problem, okay? There's your slide there, but as you can see, the camera doesn't stay on the slide. So what are you going to do? Because you want to keep that slide in view all the time. Well, that is where we enter into Nightmare City. Because what you then have to do is you have to come down to here, and we have to do something called keyframing. So you click on this little diamond here and then you move it, and then when the slide is out of frame you then move it back into frame, and that puts in your first keyframe. And then you move it again by pressing the right arrow and you want it back into frame, and then you've got your next keyframe, and then you move it a bit more. Whoa, look at that, it's gone right out of frame there, and you move it back into frame. And basically you just keep doing it throughout the whole of the video, making sure that the slide is always in frame. Only problem with this is you've got to do it frame by frame, and unless you've got a really steady hand and you were looking at the slide in the first place, you have got a lot of work to do that will take a very long time to do it, depending on the length of your clip. Now I've only done a very small amount of keyframing on that bit of video clippage. So if I play it back, That's basically, and it goes out of frame. So in order to do what is probably a 2 or 3 minute video, you're talking about a lot of keyframing. So if you are going to zoom in, then you sort of got to take into consideration that you might have to do some keyframing as well. Yes. Okay, well that's how you zoom in. Basically you go event pan crop, that brings this up, and then it's a case of changing the size to how you want it, depending on what you want to zoom in really. And then if you want it kept in shot, then you've basically got to do some keyframing, which is done down here. Now normally if you go to the bit you want changed and you move it, it will automatically put the keyframe diamond in, and then you just click on that again, move it along and change it, and that will automatically put another keyframe in. So it's pretty much automatic. So there you go, that's my little tutorial. Hope it's helped. If you've got any questions, please ask away. I will try and answer as best I can. That to me is the best way that I would zoom in on any kind of bit of video clippage. Obviously it depends on what kind of video you want to zoom in on and whether or not you need to do the keyframing. I hope this has helped you, djmattyman. I thought it would be better to show you rather than tell you via email, so there you go. That's enough from me. Bye bye for now.